Yo, this is Lefty. So we have the Cinco de Mayo pay-per-view going on this weekend. Let's get it started. So we got Jojo Diaz versus Manuel Avila. On paper, this is just about an even fight. However, Avila, unless he sharpened this up, he keeps his hands down in between while throwing a combination, and you just can't do that against a guy like Jojo Diaz. Now, Jojo Diaz doesn't have much power, but he's quick. He's got sharp punches, and he'll definitely be able to take advantage of that. So I want to say Avila's going to have the height advantage in this fight, and he's going to try to rely on that height and try to keep his hands low to invite counters, or to invite Jojo Diaz to throw first. I just think I just don't like his hand placement, to be honest. So I'm going to go with Jojo Diaz by decision. We have Lucas Matisse against Emmanuel Taylor. Now, this fight looks like a comeback fight for Matisse. However, Matisse, this is a hard fight to pick. Matisse hasn't fought in about a year and a half or so. He essentially quit against Victor Postal. Like, he got knocked out, but he could have kept fighting, and he just elected to basically not. Anytime that happens, you can expect it to happen again in the future. Is Emmanuel Taylor the guy to make that happen? That's what this fight is all about. However, Emmanuel Taylor is a solid fighter. He's a good fighter. He's a lot better than what his record suggests. And if Matisse doesn't catch him, and if Matisse takes 3 or 4 rounds to warm up, he could let Emmanuel Taylor get set in a rhythm. If that happens, it's going to be a tough fight for Matisse to win. However, if Matisse could put hands on him early, even if Taylor could stretch this fight out, I think it'll be important for Matisse to have his confidence up to keep going in this fight. Now, Taylor could fight inside, he could fight outside. I would expect him to either fight at range, outside, or to fight inside and try to smother Matisse's punches. Those are the 2 ranges I expect him to fight at during various points in this fight. I expect him to try to stay out of mid-range, so that way Matisse's arms can't get extended. And that will be the fight in microcosm. Matisse is the house fighter in this fight. He is the house fighter in this fight. Based on his power, and based on Emmanuel Taylor at times in the past, I've seen him put up those earmuffs. I expect Matisse to take advantage of those earmuffs and use better power against Emmanuel Taylor. And Matisse doesn't have a size disadvantage in this fight either, because Taylor, I believe, fought Broner at 140. I think he used to be at 140. So they're both coming up from 140 in this fight to fight at 147, unless I missed something. So I expect Matisse to take that victory. I'm not. I would say the fight goes to decision. I'm not sure if Emmanuel Taylor gets knocked out. He's a tough guy. David Lemieux and Marcos Reyes. I expect Lemieux to run over this guy within 5 rounds. I would be very surprised if it goes more than 5. This is just a stay busy fight for Lemieux to get him some exposure, so that way Canelo has an excuse to duck Triple G again, and so Lemieux could just fight him in September. That's basically what this fight is. But that's a whole nother video about the Canelo Triple G situation. Maybe I'll make one. Now, Chavez and Canelo. Me personally, I didn't like how Chavez's face looks coming up to this fight. Even when he was at 169 or 168 a few days ago, his face looked drawn, like his cheekbones were really pronounced. It just doesn't look natural on him. And it just it doesn't look like he's taken to the weight cut too well, and I didn't expect him to take to the weight cut well. I didn't expect him to. He hasn't made this weight in like 5 years. So what happens when you go down in weight too much, when you lose too much weight? Your punch resistance goes down. Now, aside from Chavez's power, his calling card is his chin. He's only been knocked out once. He's usually a guy that wants to take 2 shots to get one in. And basically Chavez's only chance is to press the fight and make Canelo uncomfortable and try to land, and basically try to land on him and take advantage of Canelo's slow feet. So without that punch resistance, and with me having these feelings toward Chavez's weight cut, I expect Canelo to knock him out about round 8. Now, I hope that's not the case. I hope that I'm wrong and that the weight cut went better than expected. Because if the weight cut went better than expected, Chavez has a chance to do some damage based on Canelo's slow feet. So, I think, but I'm leaning the other way. And I'm saying Canelo knocks him out around 7 or 8. And I'm leaning that way, just based on what I think Chavez's weight cut is. So there you have it. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And I'll hit you guys up on the next fight. The big pay-per-view. Can't wait to see it. Like the video. Sub me. Lefty's out.